Hi, Robin.
Hey, hello.
Hello.
Hey.
Hey. Oh, Sunday mood.
Yes, 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 yes. So I miraculously went from Rotterdam to my own studio here to chat with you tonight.
Oh, I think you just pulled a Star Trek on us. You just
Yeah,
teleported.
yeah, 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 yeah. It's like a secret military technology.
It's just a secret technique.
Yeah,
Technique of
and now
teleportation.
let's see. Now I'm
Hey, everyone.
okay then.
Welcome.
Yes, okay then.
Hey, everyone is here.
Fantastic.
So we did pull something today, which was teleporting Robin from Rotterdam to Lelystad, and this is amazing. Every day doing new stuff.
Yes, yes, indeed.
Indeed. So
Cool.
the first
But
thing,
uh,
say it. Sorry, say it.
what I wanted to ask, well, first of all, thanks to everyone who was watching the store stream. It was great to be able to do that again. So, of course, thanks to Jochem and Sander and all the other store people for having me again. And yeah, happy that I to be chatting with you now. Awesome.
Yeah, actually, this is quite cool. Having like a gig, and then afterwards they do like a cool down. It's just like
Yeah.
a TV show when they have that talk show after the show to discuss things. It's super cool.
It's like
Um,
sort of the backstage now,
yeah,
after a gig, going into the backstage, have another sip of I don't know, vodka or mineral water or whatever,
whatever, or sake as well.
yeah, for example, yeah,
No, but the first thing I have to tell you is that I really like this session.
okay,
I'm enjoying quite a lot this kind of slower, more hypnotic, dubby, ambient stuff lately on.
mm,
So it was very cool, and I was delighted to see that you took the digitone with you, and we will talk about that. And
yeah,
like
that was fun. That was
as
yeah, it was a bit crazy for me to do, I think, but okay, you
oh,
know, it turned out well, I think.
we have to be crazy or else there is no fun, man.
Yeah, that is true.
But no, and the most of all, as you said, it's super cool to be able to be with friends and able to see people and hang with people because us as musicians, one of the coolest parts of doing music, it's the social part to hang with other people that also share the same passions we do, and right now
Yeah,
that's
true.
that's not possible at all. So that's super cool, and
Yeah.
and and glad that Joachim has the chance to do this with you guys over there in
Yeah,
Holland.
yeah, absolutely. It's an amazing that whole yeah that whole store thing. It's an amazing project in my opinion.
It is. It
In
is
in 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 many ways. I mean, yeah, absolutely.
in all the
Yeah,
ways. So, Robin,
yeah.
what I'm gonna ask you because I think everyone is like wanting to know. So, what
Well,
was go?
well, if people want to ask questions, like
Yeah,
let them
yeah.
let them type in questions. So because I saw someone asking like 4 or 5 times, like, what does Robin use?
Yeah.
And I think it can be interesting to tell what someone is using, but in the other end, it's of course also how you use it, but that's another story. But basically, my setup here was it was a simple, compact setup, nothing really too special. I think I use an analog rhythm drum machine, digitone FM synthesizer, the Lyra 8, for some background drones that I used here as well, and a Zone DB4 mixer, which you can reconfigure in many many ways. So for this particular jam, I have had really configured it that I had, like, a filter on each channel instead of an EQ.
Oh,
I,
okay.
I I just had filters on each channel. Uh, I had I had effects on each channel,
Mm-hmm.
and I had the digitone even run on two separate channels. So one of them was a channel with a delay, and the other one was a channel with a reverb, so
Oh,
that I
nice.
could stack them. And the Lyra was running through a really slow flanger. And the Lyra was just like, you know how the Lyra works. I put the whole thing, all the way to the right, so that it has this
Yeah.
continuous tone.
Yeah.
And then I just filtered in some tone, sometimes, and that's how I use the Lyra.
Yeah.
But it was a perfect drone, especially through that really slow flanger.
Yeah.
And then, like, the DB4 really becomes a sound sculpting instrument on its own. It's like really like another instrument instead of just a mixer. And that's what I like about the DB4.
Yeah.
So for the jam yesterday, or the one that was broadcasted tonight, that worked out really, really well, I think.
No, no. Of course, it did, and I really enjoyed. We were discussing this a little bit. What did you do on the live and all, and it worked really well. And I I I I salute you because you had a digitone for one day, and you took it like I don't care,
One evening,
one
yeah,
evening basically. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And yeah, the thing is I ordered it because I for coming alive said I wanted to have a interesting synth that I can save some presets in, that you can recall things quickly when needed. But I also wanted a synth with a form of synthesis that I didn't have yet.
Yeah.
And somehow I have never, my latest FM synth was a DX7, which of course nobody ever programs, because
Yeah.
yeah. So then I had my eyes on the digitone for a while, and then I felt like, fuck it, let's do this. And then day before yesterday, I started making some sounds with it and all. But when I arrived in Rotterdam, I realized that we were going to do more dubby things than well, we already discussed that.
Discussed. Yeah.
It was we were going to do dub stuff, but then I in Rotterdam I realized that the sounds I had actually made were not really suitable for really dubby stuff. So I was thinking like, nice dubby stuff. And I was thinking like, fuck, the digitone didn't really have. So then I also went to my analog rhythm, that I have a lot of samples in, and a lot of, it has a 2 VCO synth in it and all. So there I, out of the 12 voices I converted 4. No, it has 12 voices, and I converted 4 of them to be synth voices. So there I made some nice deep dubby things as well. And then in the end, it turned out as you just heard.
Yeah, it worked. It worked. No. I think I do believe this honestly, and you are a perfect example of this. It's when one has a lot of experience and had a lot of hours putting into doing live acts and playing live and jamming live. I think that the fact that you have a new machine on the setup, it is not that insanely crazy, because you know that's easily enough you will be able to do something with it, something interesting with it.
You can make it work somehow. Yeah.
Now,
And then even like of course I didn't use the full potential of the digital,
of
but
course,
I was able to use it in enough so that I got some really interesting things out of it, which were all created like sort of on the fly.
yeah.
And in the set also you hear it like 2 times that I actually touched the digitone while the channel was still open. So you have some nice deep stuff going on, and suddenly you hear bling,
Bang. Yeah,
like yeah.
the typical. Oh my
And
god.
then
Yeah.
okay, put
Okay.
the channel down, and then sculpting the sound, and then slowly bring it in.
Yeah.
But in the end, like it's 100% live improvisation.
Yeah. Yeah. And
We had an idea what we were going to do, and then we start from there, and then things develop, and you listen to what the other person is
yeah,
doing, and the other person listening back, and that's how things then develop.
develop.
And I
Yeah.
think, especially in the second hour, things became a bit more experimental,
Mm-hmm.
and I think they became that way as we were like more in the zone or whatever. So yeah,
No.
was a lot of fun to do.
No, yeah, and there's also something very special about it is the fact that you were able to play with Joachim live, seeing him.
Mm,
We all know that the remote sessions are super cool, and they do require people to get used one to another, of course. But
yeah,
I think when one has the chance to do it in front of the other person, that's where real magic happens as well.
it's still different indeed, because you're in one room together, and you are somehow still feeling each other's energy. You can look at each other and have a little chat, like, hey, shall we maybe do this or that? And yeah, and with those remote jams, it's great that the current technology allows us to do this in a really good way.
Mm-hmm.
And for example, yesterday the remote jam was like, the technology we used was like a 3 meter MIDI cable all the way to the other end of the table,
Yeah,
where the
yeah,
other setup was.
yeah,
So and as you saw in the video, there's this big table. You stand behind this table. There's one setup on this side and one setup on the
on the
other
other
side,
side. Yeah.
and then yeah, it's when you're doing a collaboration, that is the most ideal way to do it.
Yeah, yeah. No, human feeling. Even if you're not talking with the person when you're playing live, you can see the emotions, you can see the body language, and I think
Yeah,
sometimes people, I don't know, but I sometimes think that people don't realize that how much important it is, that body language, that those feelings when you're jamming with someone.
yeah,
And that's why I consider it that's the extra magic touch to doing such cool live improvisations, because you were
yeah,
able on the spot to immediately, oh, he's going there, so let me see, I'm going this way, and immediately cool things start to happen. Of course, it's also possible to do very cool things in remote jams. We all seen all this time amazing things came out of there. But
yeah,
yeah, I think we'll also miss that thing of being together and being able to do things together in person and all. So that's all of that plays into this.
yeah. True,
True.
true, absolutely. And
Awesome.
that's what I think at the start of all this, people maybe didn't realize that much, but that going to festivals or clubs or events, it's a lot more a social aspect for people than just listening to loud music and dancing.
Yeah, no, I agree too. I agree too. I anxiously await the day that I'll be able to, when it's safe, of course,
Mm,
be able to be out there, be with friends, be with other musicians, have fun, play and see people. That's so important. And I think we were all able to realize how important that is for us with all of
yeah,
this time at home. Uh, talking in messenger, talking via webcams and stuff. It is cool, of course, but it's not the same at all.
no, no, true, true.
Awesome, awesome, guys. By the way, don't you can do questions at any time. Don't worry. I'll do my best to take them and
Yeah,
ask.
but I have a thing here on as well, and
Yeah,
so
for sure, for sure.
if I'm correct, that should be the proper. Yeah, that's the proper chat. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll hang on.
yeah. There was a question in the beginning by Philip, and I'm gonna read it to you, Robin. So he says, "Gould old question: What have you been up to lately, Robin, in terms of music and overall projects?"
Let's see. Well, I've basically been more focusing on the, of course, music at home. I've been able to do uh, some live streams because I've been invited to do them, which was nice. Yeah, as you know, I recently signed an EP on the label, which is hopefully being released sometime soon.
Yeah.
I've done some remixes for some people, including you, that have gotten good responses.
Yep.
So that's all cool. And for the rest, yeah, I'm mainly now working on a lot of new music, not only new like techno EPs, but also I'm also slowly working on an album.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. Well, I have a quite good idea what I want that to become, but I'm I'm not rushing that. I'm taking that slowly because it has to yeah mature in a certain way or something.
Yeah. Let it
Like a good cognac.
like with cognac. Yeah.
Maybe like that. Yeah.
Yeah, leave it, stay there, mature, retaste again, see, okay, a little bit more. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I think it's the best way actually. Let's,
Because my opinion about an album is like, techno EPs and put 3 or 4 or 5 techno bangers on it. That's all nice.
yeah,
But an album, I want an album to be to tell a story in a way. I want people to be able to listen to the album in one go, and that it tells a sort of a story, and that they are happy that they set the whole album out to listen. That's what I would like to achieve with an album.
an
You
album.
know?
Yeah, no, I agree too. I think an album is somewhat of a story that we are telling with sounds, but also, and also at the same time, it is a little part of us out there, like something that we want to
Yeah.
express as well. So I also believe the same as you. Like it should be something more personal, with a story behind, not just for techno bangers like boom boom all the way there. No, it has to have a story. It has to have a beginning, development, and an end. And that takes a lot of time to do it properly. It
Yeah,
does
exactly. Yeah.
does take time. By the way, Sander is asking us, do you have a title in mind for your album yet? Will it be your first album?
No title yet. Well, I saw someone posting here dry aged techno.
Yeah, it's Sander.
No. But yeah,
It's
yeah, I know.
Sander.
No, but I don't know yet. But that will manifest itself as the time comes, I think.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, this is a quick one. Is all your music on Bandcamp, Robin, or do you have other places for people to check as well?
Let's see. Well, some of my music has been released on labels that don't exist anymore. So that would be only vinyl.
Mm-hmm.
So they should just use my name to yeah, and have a look on the Dex or Technique in Japan, or those kind of record stores.
Yeah.
But pretty much all my other music should definitely be available on Bandcamp, or maybe Beatport as well. But I
Beatport.
think
Yeah.
Bandcamp the most. Yeah.
Yeah, look, Zach,
Yeah.
the easiest way is just go to Google and write Bandcamp, space Robin space Kampschoer,
Yeah.
and you'll find it. It's the best way to search on Bandcamp. It's through Google. No,
Mhm.
but people are saying that they're suggesting that your album should be called Ramanical, Ramen Techno.
I see it. I will note all those titles down.
All those
Yeah.
names, all those names. No, but
But
I
you have those title websites
yeah.
these days. You put in some criteria like ramen, and I don't know. I hurt my elbow the other day, whatever, and then the website comes up with some title. Yeah.
We did that experience like some I think like in December that we went to those random name sites. Remember that we tried stupid names to see what it does do or whatever.
Mm.
It is the most like it is the
The
most
best titles ever.
ever.
You
It is
know.
the most
Yeah.
stupid thing, but in the middle of so many stupidity down there, there are some very cool ones in those random titles for one to use on music.
Yeah.
So yeah. But no, so guys, you'll have to wait for Robin to marinate his tracks. Dry Age is
Yeah.
techno.
The dry aged.
Dry Age is techno,
No,
and
but that's an album thing, you know.
yeah, it's
But
normal.
of course, I'm working on a lot more stuff, like also new, new music to be
Yeah,
released on, like really dance floor focused music, you know.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
'Cause, yeah, I like to do that too,
Oh, of
you know.
course.
And when I'm booked in clubs, it's mostly
To
for that kind of music.
yeah, yeah,
And in in and the more slowed down or easygoing stuff is more like on you have those electronica festivals
yeah.
where people sit down and listen to it, and there's places like that.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
we were talking about this before. I really enjoy, and I think we should have much more electronic music concerts that you can be seated, just like a normal concert. You can sit down on a chair, enjoy the thing, listen to nice sounds, listen to a nice performance, enjoy the artist going where he wants to go. I really honestly would love to see much more of those as well. Not just only club music, but also much more into those things. It has a different value as well. I mean,
yeah,
at least for me, at least for me.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
And I know that there are some in the Netherlands here as well, and I think even after COVID there will be more events like that coming, because I think that apart from uh, going going out to dance all night, I think people also really enjoy to experience electronic music in a little bit of a different environment,
yeah,
for
yeah.
sure.
No,
Both is very interesting.
yes,
It's not
yes.
one is better than the other. No, I think both are interesting for various ways.
It's
Yeah,
it's like I say with everything, it's a normal balance of things. You can have a little bit
yeah,
of that, a little bit of uns, and everybody
yeah,
will be happy.
yeah.
So
Hang on, I saw another question here from
yes,
Ivark.
yes.
What is your favorite piece of gear, Gustavo? What's
Uh,
your favorite piece of gear?
that's a bit
Or was it a question for me?
for you. I think it was for you. But
Okay.
but yeah, you are the guest. I'll let you answer
Oh,
first.
I'm the guest. Okay.
Yeah, you are the guest.
Well, I think right now my favorite piece of gear is my analog rhythm because it is so versatile. And I bought it once to replace my TR-909 in my live and hybrid sets.
Mm-hmm.
I always brought my TR-909 along, and I wanted to keep that at home in my studio, and needed a drum machine that was also had a powerful sound.
Yeah.
And then I bought it, and of course it's a drum synthesizer, So
Yeah.
the 909 is 10 sounds,
Yeah.
And I thought, hey, you can really synthesize drums with this. And I made a sample set, from my 909 that I loaded in. So I also had the 909 sounds, but you can also layer them within each voice. You can layer them.
Yeah.
And I said, hey, that's like really powerful. And then they came with the update that it has a 2 VCO analog synth in it, and so there has been. I've used it on many different occasions now. I've used it in techno sets. I'm using it in the studio. I've used it on a dub techno surround sound set on a festival in Germany. And then yesterday as well, at last minute, I was able to make for dub techno synth voices, in it. So yeah, because that it's so flexible. Yeah, right now the analog rhythm is my favorite machine for now. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it seems the question is also to me as well. For me, I this is a very hard question to answer, because I it is not like saying, oh, I don't have favorite ones, or like, no, I don't have a favorite kid or something like that. No, it is not that kind of thing. I love all that I have. I have it because I love it and because it makes sense to me, and I can take
Mhm.
something out of there. That's the first rule. Like something that doesn't fit here, I normally sell it because I try to, I have this rule, which is, I will not buy anything new unless I'll sell something that I'm not using and I don't appreciate it anymore. So I keep trying things a little bit minimalistic as much as I can. That's my approach. But if
Yeah.
but if I had to answer, like, the machine that I use the most, and it's at the core of my setup, be it ambient, be it techno, be it EBM, whatever I will do, it's just like you, the same. It is analog rhythm. I have to say it because it is on everything that I do. It's there. It's always there. By the same reasons you talked about. It's super versatile. It's flexible. You can do whatever you want with that. Um, but I always normally say it's the brain of my setup. It is the analog rhythm. It's where I start everything. But if I had to say honestly, the piece of gear I'm really happy about it, and it's this thing over there, over here. Um,
You mean the Kermit
the
doll?
Kermit, yeah, the
No, no, no.
Kermit over there.
You mean the Easel command module
Yeah,
that it's an Easel command module, eh?
yeah,
Because
yeah.
it doesn't have it doesn't have the keyboard.
No, and
Who needs keyboards?
who needs keyboards? And
No, but
gladly, and gladly, I'm super happy that it doesn't come with a keyboard, because it makes it much more cheaper to buy, and
yeah, that is true. Yeah.
completely, and it became. This will sound super stupid what I'm gonna say, and this will sound like I'm a totally gear slut, or a snob. So I'm sorry for this, guys. I've been wanting this for so long. I've been saving so much money for so long for this, and you know that I talked about this like so many times. And it was that feeling that it arrived. I tried it, and I was like, oh god,
Mhm.
this is it. I had this in my head, and it's translating to this, and everything that I do there, I I I don't know if because I'm hyped about it, but I enjoy it because it has one thing that I never had in my life, which is it's super organic. Despite you have to
Yeah, true.
program it, the sound that comes out of it, it looks like it is alive. I have this with the lyra. But here
Yeah, but it's different.
it's different. I don't know.
Because Lyra, it's okay. It's a sound generator, and a lot of us, I think, sort of know the sound of the Lyra by now.
Yeah,
And Bugla is basically uh, a very old, the Easel is basically a very old school West Coast synthesizer. And although a lot of people have heard of the name Bugla, I think a lot of people also don't fully understand what West Coast synthesis is.
yeah,
But that's maybe also part of the charm, because when they hear one, it's almost unanimous that everyone likes it, and everyone finds it special. And we all know that Alessandro Cortini uses a Buga, and a lot of people like what he does. So it's a very appealing sound to many people. And
that's it.
I've played with one in Berlin once, and I also was really impressed with the sound. But then they didn't have the module for sale separately yet,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah,
So then I need to buy the case, and
yeah.
that was it was too expensive for me at the time.
No, it's too expensive. Like, I'm gonna I'm super happy that Joel at Bucla had come with this idea. Why not just sell the module without the case and the keyboard?
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
many people, like, I was one of them. Like, I didn't had the money to buy the full thing. It's super expensive. And this makes it possible. And nowadays you have tons of controllers for it. It has MIDI, it has CV gate. You can use a key step that I have here. I can even use my microfreak with that pressure keyboard, which is the same, which is similar like the original one. So
Yeah.
in the end, it's a win-win. But yeah, but honestly, I love all the gear that I have. There's not a piece of gear that I say, oh, I hate it. No, what I have is what it talks to me in a way. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. And everything together makes what makes the tool, the overall tool to do my music. That's the way I see it. Like, it's a
Yeah.
tool. In the end,
Yeah.
even this, it's a
I have the
tool.
same. I have the same here. Like, you know, it's if I buy something, it needs to have some purpose, you know, and
Yes,
that's why I buy it. It's a certain tool. It's not a lifestyle product or whatever. No, it's like, you know, it's a
it's a
certain
tool.
tool that needs to serve a certain purpose, and if it does that, then I'm happy with it, you know.
Yeah, that's it. It is in the end of the
So
day.
yeah,
We have to think about it. We can love it, we can cherish it, but it's a tool. It is a tool to obtain. It's a tool for a meaning, for obtaining a result,
yeah,
and
yeah,
just be happy with it. Experiment with it. Every tool is good. Even Akai Timberwolf, which was a little bit strange. Even those tools are good. Like,
yeah.
it is what it is.
In the end, it's also what you yeah, what you do with it, you know.
Yeah, yeah, it's the same thing. Robin, we had a question from Reconnect from Belgium that it is a little bit up there, but
Yeah, yeah.
it is a cool one for the people who don't know your a little bit about your past, which is Reconnect asks, when did you start making electronic music and how? This is a cool one.
I started making electronic music at the end of the 90s, and I did my first. When I started, I always I always wanted to play live. I
Mm-hmm.
always wanted to use equipment and make my own music live on stage. That was something that I found really interesting to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I heard a lot of good music, but I never really had the intention to like DJ to play other people's music. So I've never really DJed. You know, I until this day I cannot even beat match. You know, but I always played live. I did my first live set in 1999 using just an NPC, and like from
Mm-hmm.
1999 onwards, like 2000 or whatever, I had a simple setup. Like NPC was my main sequencer. I had an access virus for the synths. I had a TR-909 for the 909 sounds,
Yeah.
and I had a TB-303, a Roland TB-303 for the acid sounds. And I had a Yamaha digital mixer with a four-band parametric EQ and a compressor and two effects on each channel. And that was my mixer for my live setup. So I could already really sculpt, fine tune all the sounds, and also that my master signal was really well balanced and everything. And that's how I started play live until until Ableton came out with version 4, which was the first version
Yeah.
that implemented MIDI.
Yeah.
Because I've seen Ableton, and I had seen Jochem use Ableton a bit, and I thought, okay, this is really interesting, but I want to be able to control it from a controller. And then Ableton came out with version 4, and then I switched to a partially laptop-based live setup. And from there, yeah, my setup has always changed a bit, mixers and controllers wise, but it's basically been yeah, mostly Ableton based, because you know,
Mm-hmm.
then you can fly everywhere. You just pick your laptop and
Yeah.
sound card mixer, whatever, and you just fly everywhere. And then since since the Corona days, I've been doing more hardware-based live setups again.
Yeah.
Like yesterday, like now if I do a live setup, it's usually it's hardware only again.
Yeah.
And oh yeah, another thing. So I've only played live, but I discovered as well that like if you do like DJ hybrid sets that you get booked more often because you're a bit more saleable to promoters and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So in 2016, I started doing those
Mm-hmm.
from the same setup that I also did live sets, and that's been working out well for me. But that's the closest thing as to a standard DJ set that I'm doing, which is hybrid sets, and then yeah, basically from the same setup that I
Yeah.
also use to play live with. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think. Well, I was a kid back then. Yeah. Of course, I didn't.
You mean in '99?
In '99, yeah. In '99, I was 12 years old only.
Yeah, I think I kicked you away a few times when I was playing somewhere. You were nagging me or not? No, 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 no.
No. No.
No, I'm kidding. But
I know. No, but it's quite funny because even when I was even being 12 years old, I already had some interest about music. I was playing with those stupid softwares back then, like Dance EJs and some. I had some older friends who had trackers
yeah,
on their computers and
yeah,
stuff.
but it's a start.
It's a start. It is. It
I mean,
is.
I've known many people who use like Dance EJ or Magic Music Maker, and that only had like maybe some loops that you combine together. But who cares? It's a start.
It's a
It's
start.
it's that got you into where you are now.
No, totally.
That's how I see it. Yeah,
It's the journey. It's all the journey. Yeah.
exactly.
And I was always drawn to that thing of the live play as well. I think I don't want to diss on people who do DJ sets because I also love to do DJ sets. Oh, someone saying Music 2000 on the PlayStation. Yeah, I also played that a lot.
Okay.
But I always thought it was special or some kind of evolution, seeing people using electronic machines to do music. It was interesting to me. I always was connected to video games and technology. All that appealed to me. And when I discovered that there was people doing music with non-acoustical instruments like a guitar and stuff, I was like, oh, this is very cool. I was a kid and I thought, oh, so this is like playing video games but with machines.
Yeah.
This is cool.
Yeah.
And I think, at least in my vision of things, I think it's the natural evolution of music somehow to people take electronic instruments and also play and be musicians with them, and it's super cool. That's super cool because you can be so creative with those instruments. Plus, they allow you to play them without being a trained musical theory musician. You can just discover them and try them and see
Yeah.
how they work. And that for me, it's golden because it opens doors for anyone who wants to express themselves through sound.
Yeah.
And that's for me, it's golden. But nice, yeah. You started. I was a kid. I was playing video games and playing football and stuff like that.
Yeah. I'm thinking now what my first influences were from electronic music. That's also when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Let's see. I was listening to music from, for example, The Cure,
The
the
Cure.
old music from The Cure,
Mm-hmm.
and for example, if you take their biggest hit, which is a Forest, there's a synthesizer in it in the background,
Mm-hmm.
and that's a Roland JX3P.
Yeah.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
and of course I didn't know that at the time, but I was interested uh, in those kind of sounds. And also in the 80s, you had a music genre called new romance, English
Yeah.
genre, like Duran, stuff like that.
Human
With synths in it.
justice. How are they called? I always forget. Human League as well, stuff like
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
Yeah.
all that kind of stuff. And then also in the 80s, they came out with the first television series where a composer specifically created music for.
Mm-hmm.
And the television series was called Miami Vice. It's the first television series that a composer has specifically created music for, and that was John Hammer, of course.
Yeah.
And I was also really intrigued by those sounds, which of course we all know now is FM. You know,
FM.
he used a DX7, a Fairlight, CMI,
CMI.
a
Yeah.
Minimoog, a Memory Moog, and some other stuff. And that also really intrigued me, like, you know, those sounds that people could not describe or comprehend where that was coming from. I always, you know, I was never interested in guitars or whatever, because, you know, that's, you know, I don't know. I always was interested in sounds that people could not
Understand.
comprehend where it's coming.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
where it's coming from. And yeah, that's what started it for me. And then in the early 90s, or I think maybe even 89, very early, you know, I stumbled upon a genre called house music or whatever, you know, and I thought like, okay, what's that? And I listened, and then I was sold, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I also had the same thing. I think that we can be from all over the parts everywhere, but we'll all have a little bit of a similar experience how we get into electronic music. Like it was the same
Yeah,
thing for me. Like I was born in the final of the 80s. Most of the music that I heard on TV shows, on kids TV shows and stuff was made with electronic instruments as well.
yeah, yeah,
I was playing video games like crazy, despite they were 8-bit, so they sounded like yeah, like shitty chiptune music. But well, that's the start as well. But I also like that duality. It's sound. Well, nowadays I think you think you can understand where those sounds come from nowadays. But back then,
yeah. But now we're so much further.
yeah,
I mean, when I started making music in 98 or something, I
yeah,
think, or 97, I had a very bold thought, and that was, okay, you know, I've been listening to this house and techno music for like 8 years already. So I felt like, okay, it's a very long time, you know. So now I think I should be able to do that as well. And then I bought my MPC, you know, because of that very bold thought, like, okay, I've heard so much of that. I really want to be able to create that. I should be able to do that. And that's why I bought it. And now it's 2021, you
yeah,
know, and then, but I'm happy that I did have that very bold thought,
yeah.
because otherwise I've never made the step, you know, to start, you know, and in the end, you know, it's that's the most important, you know, take the step.
No, it is. It is.
Even if it's with EJ music or magic music, doesn't
Yes,
matter, you know,
yes,
as
yes.
long as you take the step and you know, yeah,
No, I totally agree. Like I had I had a similar thing as you on a different time era, of course. But
mm,
the thing that made me like had this also bold move was like I was into video game music, which is normally electronic. Only until very late, electronic video games had played music in a way, like it was real recorded instruments and stuff until very late. So
yeah,
all that music appealed to me. Then I also had friends with older brothers and stuff like that who were already into parties, going out, and we were kids. So they also shown us like, oh, this is what we listen when we go out. House music. Portugal was and still is kind of big in house music. Then came techno, and I was like, oh, this is like, yeah, this is like video games music, electronic music. This house techno thing that I really don't know what it
mm,
is, but it sounds like super cool. And when I found out about those softwares, I was like, well, why not? I'm okay with computers. I'm good with computers. Maybe this is like a computer program, and I can experiment and see where it goes. And little by little, those bold moves are just, I would like to do this. Maybe I'm able to do this. Takes us where we are nowadays, and
yeah.
it's part of the journey.
Yeah,
That's the thing.
absolutely.
Oh, someone is saying that Streets of Rage. It's an awesome. It's a video game soundtrack from Mega Drive, and
Okay.
actually the guy who composed that soundtrack for that game, when the game was released, he was booked to play a lot of clubs because of his music on the video game, which was FM, because the Mega Drive console, it's based on the Yamaha FM chip. So the dude was playing
Okay.
venues because of the music he did. It's kind of a little techno-ish thing.
Okay.
And I always love that soundtrack as well. It's like a staple for me, like Streets of Rage video game soundtrack. It's like, yeah, it's like something that made me, oh my god, we've been raided.
Rui
Yeah.
Tokyo, arigato.
Rui Tóquio, thank you, obrigado. Oh my god. Um, but falling back, so yeah, I think all that journey, the music we listen, our influences and all, they basically takes us where we are, and we have to cherish that. It's
Yeah.
part of the journey. Mm.
That's
Robin.
funny that you mentioned that because personally I've never been into games, to playing games. But for example, I have a CD here at
Hmm.
home, a double CD uh, with music from a video game called Ghost in the Shell.
Oh yeah,
But it
yeah.
has been done for the first PlayStation, and
Hmm.
that is music that has been made by all kinds of techno artists. So
I remember that CD. It was the first
yeah,
time that I heard. How was his name? The Japanese guy. I forgot. But yeah.
hang on.
Mm. Oh my god. Yeah, that one. Yeah, that one.
That's a CD.
Yeah.
Can you see it? Yeah.
Mhm. Mhm.
So it's yeah it has all kinds of music on it by by many techno artists,
Yeah.
specifically made for that particular game. Yeah,
Exactly. Yeah, yeah. And the TV show. That was also one of my encounters with techno as well.
yeah.
Robin, just to do like a little explanation. So for the people who just arrived here right now, we are having a live chat where you can ask us questions between Robin Kampschoer and me. We are talking about music, synths, our lives, our inspirations, our journeys. So feel free to ask us questions if you want to, and we'll try our best to answer them. And thank you for the raid, Hui Tokyo. Thank you. So back to our chat. No, I think we are a product of evolution in a way. You know.
Yeah, in a way, yes, absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. I totally agree. And I'm happy that I used to use, and still am addicted to video games and stuff like that, because if it wasn't for that, maybe I won't be here talking with you, doing my music.
you were sitting on the beach near Porto, and you were playing ukulele,
You can
wearing an Hawaii shirt,
in the cold waters of Porto.
kicking the Porto ukulele scene there.
Yeah, playing
I don't know if
ukulele.
there's a ukulele scene,
No,
but
I don't
yeah.
think so.
Okay.
We have a small Portuguese guitar. We call it
Okay.
cavaquinho. It's called the cavaquinho. Maybe I will be rocking that on the beach in Porto, like playing that thing there with my shirt there.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Okay.
So
Funny.
there's some other questions here, which uh, well, it was one from Sander that we didn't answer, which was, will your album be a self-released one, Robin? Are you thinking about
I
that?
I don't know yet, because I'm playing with the thought of starting my own label,
Yes, yes.
and there are many ways that this can be done.
Mm-hmm.
In also many good ways that this can be done,
Yeah.
and I have some ways in mind. But if my album has a certain character,
Mm-hmm.
and there would be a big label that would be interested in it,
Mm-hmm.
which already has, like a certain reputation or a
Yes.
certain network or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
or that is a label that is interested, that I would think that we would both think like it would really fit the other label,
Mm-hmm.
and I would go for there as well. So there are more ways that are interesting to look into, you
To look
know.
into it, yeah. But this is a personal question. Do you do you do you okay, so for you the value has to be either a very good label which you have the same feeling going further with this, right? um but have you not thought of doing it really by yourself, like, because it's just such a person
Yeah,
a personal job, a personal
I'm
work.
also thinking about that. Yeah,
Yeah.
but of course, I would also like if it would reach people, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and for that, I still have to discuss this with some people who already have labels and already know a lot more about this
Mm-hmm.
and have a lot more experience about this
Yes.
than I do. But I like to investigate both ways
Mm-hmm.
because there are interesting reasons to go both ways. You
Yeah.
know, to be doing something completely by yourself, that's also really interesting. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah. No, no, I
so
agree. I agree.
I haven't decided on that yet, but I do think for a thing like that, it's a decision that I need to uh, yeah, I need to consider carefully, you know, because to release an album, it's a big step, and I want that to be done well, no matter which way it's being done. I like it to be done well. Yeah.
Yeah. And no narcissist is saying collective details is a new label if Robin one is interested. No, man. Nice one, nice one. And no narcissist, nice one. No, but I agree.
By the way, the music that already is on Collective Details is, if I'm correct, already also in my hybrid setup because the people who have released on there, it's and also, but yeah, we've talked about it as well. But you know, some great music going on there. So
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. No, but talking about the label stuff, I agree with you because having your work on an already established label who has its own reach, who has its own public already, plus has a name on the scene, of course helps much more. And doing, and for me as well, doing a self-release album, to do it right, you have to spend quite some cash on it. And
yeah,
sometimes those investments can be super high in terms of investment, uh,
yeah, yeah.
and the return is not the best ever, which
No, but I know that, like, you know, music sales, especially if you do it on vinyl,
yeah,
it's not gonna
yeah,
return enough
yeah,
to break even. But that's yeah, I already know that, you know, so
yeah,
that's fine in a way. But regarding label, like, you know, yeah, what you said, like the exposure and all that, that could be a reason why it would maybe be more interesting to release on another label. Yeah,
yeah. No, I agree. No, like, of course, many of the artists who do this personally, I hope so. I hope they understand that this is a bet they're doing, and it's not expected to have money. If I will do it myself, I will not do it because of getting money back. I will do it because I believe in that, and I want my work to be out there.
yeah,
But it's
yeah,
also a hard task to measure all of this, and to weight all of this and see, should I go this
yeah.
way, should I go that way.
And
uh
I also know people that, you know, that made some music that they felt like, you know, yeah, nobody will like it, so I will just create my own label and I will release it for my friends. And then eventually that came that that when that became hugely successful,
Yeah.
beyond what they ever dreamt about it.
Yeah.
So yeah, what I said, there are several different ways to do stuff like that, and I think those several ways are all good for their own reasons in a way.
Yeah, in the end
Yeah,
it's just about thinking and trusting a little bit in your guts and go with it
yeah,
and be happy
yeah,
about the decision. I think so too as well.
exactly.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
cool, cool. So Livingstone asks us a question for both of us, which is, do you have any ritual or habits that help you get into a creative mood? Hmm.
A little bit, yeah. Usually, I think I just put on some music here, put on a set from some artist that I like, or some music in general that I like, to get in sort of a kind of a creative mood. Unless I already have an idea,
Mm-hmm.
and I just put on the equipment and get to work. Yeah,
Yeah. No, that's an interesting one. For me, I'm much more about having an idea, a concept.
yeah,
For example, I would love to try to do harsh noises which remember me something.
mm,
And then I take it from there, purely out of exploration, like no set goal of doing something like a final product, not with that goal. But I want to see where does this go, and by exploring and experimentation on the gear, I start to build up ideas on my head. So, oh, okay, so this we can go here, can go
yeah.
there,
That is true as well.
and go there. Normally, I don't have this habit of listening to music to be inspired. I used to be like that. Nowadays, I don't know why.
Mm,
I don't do it much. Um, maybe I'm doing this and I don't know, because I have the always the weekly podcast that I do all weeks. So
yeah, okay.
maybe while I'm picking up new tracks from the releases and promos that I get, I might be doing this without acknowledging. But my much of the times my ritual is come here, sit down, turn the gear, and say, oh, what if I will try to do this sound, just pure out of am I able to do it? How do I do it? And normally for me it clicks enough to then starting doing music without any thought on my head. Apart from
Yeah,
that,
yeah. That's what I have as well here, especially now, of course, with the digitone.
yeah.
That is new. Yeah, I just turn it on and I experiment with it and then see what comes out. Yeah,
Yeah, no, I think all processes are valid.
yeah, yeah.
wh-
True.
Whatever makes you excited about doing something.
Yeah.
Um, but now, following this question, like when you feel stuck on something, do you keep on doing it and shift to other places, or you just stop and go away?
I have learned that if I would continue when things are not working,
Mm-hmm.
then for me it very often continues to keep not working.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
No, no matter if I have a deadline for something or whatever or
Yeah,
not. If
just.
so, then I can either stop and do something completely different. I
Mm-hmm.
go out, whatever, and I don't know,
Mm-hmm.
or I save it and I'll probably start working on something completely new.
Okay.
You know?
Okay.
Yeah,
No, I think this is the part I maybe because I'm too stubborn in a way for because of this. I
mm,
many times keep on doing until something a little bit more pleasant comes out, and I say,
yeah,
okay, I'm somewhere pleasant. I save it. Let's go to another project.
yeah.
But I don't know why I have been a lot of difficulty to just leave it and go away for quite some time now.
Well, what I have is when something doesn't work and I
Mm-hmm.
save it and I go back to it like a few days later
Mm-hmm.
with fresh ears. Then often I get new ideas like, hey, I
Yeah,
can do this and this and this,
yeah,
and then I'm happy that I didn't throw it away because because in the end it turned out to something nice anyway.
yeah. No, no. I do the same. I'm all my music that I've released was music that I let it dry age somewhere, come back to it and say, okay, this sticks. I like this. Let's go. That's important to do it with fresh ears and not remembering the track 100%. Oh, I remember this track. It was like this. Let's see what was real about it. That helps me a lot also to keep going further on. But in my case, I know a lot of people prefer to go away. I am a little bit the opposite. I keep grinding. I keep grinding and
Yeah.
grinding and grinding. In a way, there's no wrong or right in this.
No, that's true. It's just a personal preference. Yeah.
That's the big thing. Like, there's no magic formula. There's no magic thing happening. It is just know yourself.
Mhm.
Get to know yourself more than anything. At least this is what I think.
Yeah. Yeah. True.
Yeah, true.
True. Absolutely.
So unknown artist is asking about there was I haven't seen it, that question about when Robin met Joachim. Okay,
Oh, when did we meet?
okay, okay. So I'll make the question. I don't know if it was this way, but
I
how and when did you met Joachim?
Well, I was standing in the supermarket, and then no, no, no.
That will be funny. You in supermarket? Hey, you are Speedy J. Hi.
No, that's my bread. No, that's my bread. And then kicking, fighting over a
Fighting
bread,
my
and
bread.
then yeah.
Kroketten. No, that's my kroketten. No, that's yours. No, come on.
No, to be honest, yeah, of course, I've been a fan of his music for a long time, of course.
Yeah.
Uh, let's see, he was also one of the people that influenced me to play live because I saw
Mm-hmm.
him play live on his two SU700s, and at the same time, I I saw a guy from France called Scanix
Yeah.
also play live,
Mm-hmm.
and Jochem and Scanix were two of the people that were playing live that I really liked. Like wow, that's it's their own music and it's great music. And that made me like want to persuade that dream of playing live on stage one day.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I started buying my MPC and then developing stuff. And then I think like how it goes with many artists, other artists as well. Then we met a couple of times throughout the years, like that I was attending an event where he played, or maybe it was an event where he played and I played as well, but
Yeah.
I played in another room or whatever, and then you slowly get to know each other more,
Mm-hmm.
and then you slowly get to know each other more as a human being as well, and you yeah you discover that you share opinions or experiences, whatever in life, or things you agree on, like how how other friendships develop as well.
Yeah.
So that's how we then got to learn to know each other. And let's see, then in March 2018, I was invited to participate in a store session,
Mm-hmm.
which I don't know if everyone here knows, but he has this project where he invites
Yeah.
like-minded artists to do jam sessions with him in the studio. And then if there are pieces from those jam sessions which are good, then he will cut it on vinyl and then he release it on vinyl.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And for more information about this, go to the store social media things, because
Yeah.
they I'd rather that they get the information from there
Yeah.
than that I'm telling it, because from there it's from the first person.
Yeah.
So yeah, that is then so then I went there for 3.5 days, and in 3.5 days we made 10 tracks, you know,
Yeah.
which have been released on 4 EPs, and then of course you're sitting there for like 12 hours a day, and of course you're focusing a lot on music, but yeah, you also start talking about other things, about many non music things in life, because music is of course great, but there's everyone is also a person, of course,
Of course.
beside than just the artist,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
so then yeah, that's how that went,
Nice. I
like
really
in a really I think in a really uh, organic way,
organic way. Yeah.
like how I learned to know you as well. That's also like it that's in a really organic way, and I
Yeah.
think that's the only, not the only way, but it's I
The
think the best or
the best
most
one.
pleasant way to do
Yeah.
things. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah. No, I agree. No, I agree. Well, I really thought you met him on a supermarket fighting for bread and kroketten.
yeah. We did actually.
But
Yeah,
but this is much more cool, and that's important. It's meeting someone organically. This sounds strange actually, but meeting someone organically, letting things roll, to develop a friendship,
yeah, yeah.
a
They
mutual
they, they
respect.
develop as they develop.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's the best way. Just like us. Like I don't even remember how and why we started talking, but it developed. It's now a year, almost a year that we met. I don't even know
I think it was on Discord,
that. Yeah,
and you were sending me a question.
me.
Did you? Yeah, you were sending me a question. Did you get that bread?
No. Yeah.
From your home? Did you get that bread? No, no, no,
Yeah. Okay. Do you have bread? No, but actually no.
no. But it's yeah, but that also,
It's organic.
it develops organically, and
Yeah.
it's and then you discover, like, that yeah, they are great people, amazing people,
Yeah.
and so yeah.
I think always that everybody is great. It's just some people are more open to let themselves known. Others are more shy. But in the end, everybody deserves a chance to be heard and try to connect. And some people you
Mhm.
connect, some other you just don't connect. But you at least create respect with them, and that's that's
Yeah,
that's a good thing. It's like,
exactly. Yeah.
as long as there is respect for me, even if I don't like the music, as long there is respect for me, it's all good. Like, there's no need to be hate or to be anything towards people.
Oh, but I know quite some artists that music wise are not really my thing,
Yeah,
but as a person,
me too. Yeah,
that they are great people.
yeah, like me.
And
Yeah,
in the end, also music, uh, music is a very personal thing. It's a very personal expression. By the way, I see a friend of mine from Berlin
yeah,
saying hello here. Hey, how you doing?
yeah.
Awesome. And music is a very personal thing, and
Yeah,
and and so that's why I will also not say like this or that is bad music, because I do believe that even though it's music that I might not like, he or she has done their best to make it at the best of what they feel it should be,
Yeah.
and I always respect that creative process.
Exactly. I think
You know?
yeah, like it's just like what you said. You can music, it's super personal in terms of tastes. It's one of the most
Yeah,
personal things in terms of tastes. I think it's
yeah,
even more exquisite than food, for example. Honestly, in at least for me, it's more exquisite than food.
mm,
And in the end, you may not appreciate it or like it, but does it mean that the person is a shitty person? It is another it's another guy like you who maybe has all the same interests as you have, but he just has a
yeah,
different music taste. And I love
yeah,
that part of the music, connecting with people. And I honestly, I do love to connect with people who are doing different music than me, because
yeah,
it opens the horizons, opens your head to hear things differently sometimes. Oh, this is a nice approach.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's funny that you said that, because I've done a collaboration a few years ago with the in Dutch it's called the het Koninklijk Concertgebouw Orkest, which is the Royal National Classical Orchestra,
Okay. Okay.
and I did a concert with them.
Mm-hmm.
So it was we covered some music from other artists, but we also rewrote some of my music for classical instruments, and then that was a lot of fun to do. And I mean, they of course they have a very different way of approaching music.
Yeah.
I mean, they play the violin or cello or double bass, whatever, and they usually play that. I mean, they are now in their 30s and 40s,
Yeah.
and they started playing that when they were 5 or something, and they played it every day for their whole lives, you know, with their
Yeah.
parents with the whip, like,
Yeah.
you know,
Play. Yeah. Yeah.
and they became the best they can be, and you know, otherwise they wouldn't be in that orchestra, you
Of
know.
course. Yeah.
And they still have the passion for that. And but what I liked is that although what I'm doing is super different, they were just as interested in what I was doing as that I was interested in what they were doing.
Yeah.
So then during the practice sessions, we got along really well. And then we, yeah, you know, they also started, yeah, okay, but the typical question, where's the keyboard, you know?
Yeah.
And then I explained, like, you know, you don't always have to use a keyboard, you know, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Ah.
And then and then I showed them things and all, and they also found it genuinely really interesting.
Yeah.
And and that's what I like about, you know, collaborating with people completely
Yeah.
outside of electronic music, you know.
Yeah. No, it is. It opens your mind, enlarges your horizons of knowledge
Yeah,
and creativity. Yeah, that's super cool. That's super cool. That's an amazing thing, actually. Like being able to collaborate with an orchestra, especially the especially like such a pro one like that. Of course,
yeah,
that should be a super fun experiment.
yeah.
Yeah, super.
And let me think. Oh yeah, there's it's, I think almost I think 8 or 9 years ago, I released an album with a friend of mine where we collaborated with live musicians,
Mm-hmm.
and those are that's an album with just you know, like more like song structure
Okay.
songs
Mm-hmm.
where people also sing in and rap in and play some live instrumenting. And that's also still on Bandcamp, by the way. But what I liked about that project is that I was able to engineer acoustical instruments and voices,
Oh, awesome, awesome.
and that is also really interesting. Yeah,
That's the Akimbo project, right?
I'm Skimbo. Yeah,
Yeah.
and the thing what I liked about that is, for example, I recorded the live violin,
Mm-hmm.
and I had the violin player like play the same violin part 5 times in 5 different tonal differences.
Yeah.
So you can stack them. So you have like a court, like
Yeah,
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 and those things are also yeah, really interesting to engineer, because you need to use EQ in a different way. You need to use compression in
in
a
a
different
different way.
way.
Yeah,
But it's yeah, yeah, it's really cool to do.
yeah, it's fun. It's fun to go out
Yeah,
to go out of our comfort zone many times. I like that too as well. I really
yeah,
like that too as well.
yeah,
Awesome, awesome stuff. We have a
yeah.
question for both of us from Reconnect again. What are your goals for the future? Are there artists you want to work with labels where you want to release, etc.? Wanna start this one, Robin?
Uh, I think it's interesting, but I also find it bit difficult to answer,
To answer,
because
yeah,
uh, I've been doing this for a long time,
yeah,
and I think I'm not really in the or I don't really have specific artists or labels anymore, or maybe just at this time
this
that I
time.
don't have specific artists or labels that I absolutely want to collaborate with or want to release stuff on.
Mm-hmm.
Because, for example, if I want to say like, would say like, okay, this and this label, I really want to release on this label. Who knows? My music might even don't fit on that label.
Yeah,
Maybe according to the label owner, or maybe according to myself, that I think, well, this label is not fit for my music, whatever. So I see things a little bit different now.
mm-hmm.
I see things more in a bit like, I'm keeping on doing
Mm-hmm.
what I'm doing, and I'm reaching out to people anyway,
Mm-hmm.
because I'm doing what I'm doing, especially now during COVID, and I'm meeting people anyway that are interesting to work with or to do music for.
Mm-hmm.
And if it clicks, that we share a certain vision or opinion or whatever, or that it feels good, like, yeah, I would really like to work with this person or release on this person label, then uh, it often happens anyway.
Yeah, yeah. No,
Or
yeah,
at least there's a relatively big chance for it to happen,
to
I think.
happen. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So that's a bit what
It's your vision.
what what
Yeah.
what my opinion is on that right now. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. No, for me, I think I'm also doing music for quite a long time. 16 years now, and that opinion that you have kind of starts to settle in after quite a long time you're doing music. Um, I honestly nowadays, I don't have much that idea. Oh, I really want to be there. I'm more like, if it happens that I'm on that label because things did went naturally to that label, because the owner talked to me, or my music is appealing to that label, or I'm playing a lot that label because I really think the music fits my thoughts as well. Okay, but I don't see it anymore like that, and that's even the reason why I started my own label,
Mm.
just for my self releases. Like, I don't want to be tied to anything. I want to be free to write whatever I want to write and put it outside. And
But I have it as well. I mean, of course, when I work on a techno EP, it's of course an EP that is aimed at the dance floor.
yeah,
But I still want it to be my music.
of course.
I don't I don't want it to be my music compromised to fit a certain label.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
but I also think that the people with the good labels, or people with labels who would ask me, if they would approach me to ask me like, hey, would you like to deliver music for my label? Then I think they ask me because uh, they want music from me as how I see it.
Exactly.
And of course, if it's a label, I will always check out the label what kind of label it is. Like if it's a techno label, I wouldn't send 4 ambient tracks to them.
Yeah.
I would of course take that stuff in mind.
Yeah.
But I also know that, like, if a certain label would ask me, that I know that they have a pretty good idea of what I do and make,
Yeah.
and then I would send them tracks, and if they like it, great. If they don't like it, we can discuss.
Yeah.
Maybe I can make slight changes or whatever, which is
Yeah.
also fine.
Yeah.
But if a label would say, like, yeah, but I want you to do something completely different,
Yeah. Yeah.
then I would
Say yeah.
explain, like, probably, it's right now maybe not necessarily the right time to do this or whatever.
Yeah. No,
But
I
but,
agree.
but it depends. It depends who you're dealing with and all, and yeah.
No, no, totally. I share that same vision as you. Most of those things happen naturally, to be honest. I can give you an example. For example, Reconnect. For many, many, many years, I always play that edit select tracks from the label and Tony itself.
Mhm.
I really thought at some point, like some years ago, quite some years ago, that I would fit that label, and I sent him demos, and Tony just said, "Look, I dig the music, I will play it, but it doesn't fit the label vision right now."
Yeah,
And I said, "Okay, totally fine." I said, "Is there anything that I can change?" He said, "Look, and this is a very important thing." He said, "Look, I don't want you to change your music just to fit the label. I think your music should naturally fit the label.
yeah,
That's the biggest thing." And curiously, after maybe like 7 years, 6 years, Tony came to me asking my music because
yeah,
naturally
of
things
course.
things develop into that, and that kind of thing. It's a very big lesson for one to start to understand that let things flow,
Yeah,
keep working,
yeah, exactly.
put
Yeah,
yourself out there, that and things
yeah,
things will naturally will evolve into that.
yeah.
About the second part, the first part of the question, goals for the future. uh, Look, in my case, I would love to be doing this more frequently. I never was the person I never had the chance to live out of music. I always worked and did music all my life. But if I have a one goal on the future, it will be to be, I won't say being doing music, okay, but
Mm.
be able to be on the music thing, even if it's by helping people, for example, having the community that I created, and be able to talk with people and help create new artists and stuff. I would love I would love that to be one of my goals. Like, okay, develop something that I really believe on, and also give chances to people to also do their own path and have their own journey. About
Yeah.
artist side, like me myself, artistically, my only goal is, I want to go back, doing more live acts and way less DJ sets.
Mm.
That's one of my goals. Of course, the venue has to be adequate. The things have to be adequate
Yeah,
to do it.
because also the yeah, you make sure uh, the chance is big that you are able to do a sound check.
Exactly, that's it. It's
Something
it.
like that.
Yes, like it has to, doing a live act is not just arriving there and say, okay, now I'll play. No, some things, there's like a checklist of things that one has to have to play a live set. But I really would love that, to be able to do more lives and less DJ sets when things are back to normal.
Mm.
And but basically, my future goals is, I would really love to keep on doing stuff on music. Doesn't need to be me releasing. No, me releasing, playing, helping people, maybe doing classes. I don't know. I'm really interested in this part of development.
Mm.
So I don't know, but mainly this is what I'm thinking today, and maybe in 6 months I'll have a different thought. That's the thing.
Yeah, 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 exactly. Yeah.
That's the thing. Cool. Uh, Now, one from Task, Zach, sorry, Zach. I read your name wrong. Zach asks us. I like these questions. Is there an artist outside of electronic music that you would like to collab with? It could be any artist in another field than music as well. So meaning that okay, it could be like also like a cinematographer or whatever. Okay, want to go at it, Robin?
Well, I already have done audiovisual projects like audiovisual live sets, audiovisual installations.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Live sets in musea. I've
Yeah.
done. So that's already in a different field, but so yeah, like certain visual artists, I find that interesting to work with those kind of people.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, yeah, in the end, that's I at the moment don't have any specific things that I like for like an artist from another field that I would like to collaborate with, but I know many great examples, like what I said, visual artists as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's great to do stuff. And like for example, in Berlin, there's a thing that's called 4D sounds, which is
Oh yeah.
like I'd like to do a set there.
Yeah.
And the way how it works is you go there for a week, you spend all the weekdays developing and composing the set, and then on Saturday you do the live sets, and that's it.
Mm.
And I'd like to do one of those things one day.
Yeah.
I think it's called Monum or something. That's what it's called
Yeah.
in Berlin.
I think so. Mono.
And
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
and I know one of the people who are managing that is Dutch, and I know her personally.
Mm.
So let's see if post COVID
Yeah.
that I can see if there's an opportunity, because you
Yeah.
never know.
You never know. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
No. Well.
But things like that.
Yeah.
That is, but also, yeah, of course I like to do visual, like to collaborate with visual artists, because there's so much you can do in that. That is,
Yeah.
yeah, it's great. Yeah.
Yeah. It's amazing. It's amazing. No. From my side, this will sound like a groupie thing. There's one guy that I really love in terms of music, and that I will really love, which will never happen for sure. Which is Trent Reznor. I love the dude. Whatever he does, I appreciate whatever he does.
Well, never say never. You never know
Yeah,
how things turn
of
out.
course, it is not impossible, but chances are small. But who knows? Who knows? I would really love, because I think he has a very different mindset and a very interesting way of looking at music. Um, and I don't know. There's something about his music that talks to me in different ways than many other music. And the sounds he does, maybe because I grew up listening to that. I don't know. I would love that, but
Mm,
I also would really love to work more with visual artists.
yeah.
I have this thing, which is I will do it one day for sure. There's this company called LZX that they do modular video synthesizers. Um,
Is it analog video?
analog, but they now also have digital as well. They also
Okay.
develop digital modules
I
as
think
well.
I've seen modules from them. Yeah, it's really interesting.
It's interesting, and I love a lot that thing. And knowing, okay, I'm a little bit, as you know, a little bit of Eurorack junkie, and knowing that I can connect my music directly to that machine, so I can connect, or better, me as a human, I can connect with a visual artist as human as well, and you can also connect both our tools together.
That's
Um,
that's how I worked when I've done
yeah.
audiovisual live
Mhm.
sets.
Mhm.
I've done that with a guy who is half Portuguese, by the way, Manuel Rodriguez.
Uh huh.
He's half Portuguese, and we've done several live sets where his visuals and light equipment
Mm-hmm.
were directly connected to
Connected.
my Ableton,
Yeah.
where when I launched sound clips,
Mm-hmm.
that at the same time MIDI clips were also
Okay.
launched that were converted to OAC that then controlled the lights and the visuals.
The visuals. Oh.
And we had a custom plugin that, for example, that could read the sound frequency for my audio.
Oh, awesome.
That also then within a certain frame had influence on the lights and the visuals. So
Awesome.
also when I faded in a sound, that you
Mm-hmm.
had a certain light or visual slowly faded in, and then the sound went from high to low. That you saw like a color change
Yeah.
from deep blue to purple to deep red or something like that, and that can all be that can all be determined as you like, of course.
Yeah.
So yeah, it is really nice,
Yeah.
especially when with that particular setup. If I wanted to have a moment of silence and I put all the faders down,
Uh-huh.
and it was also completely dark
Oh, awesome.
because all the sounds were off, and all the visual identities to all the sounds were then also off. So if I then faded in slowly one hi-hat again, then you saw a hi-hat somewhere, and then so every sound had a visual identity,
Identity. Oh, that's amazing.
and that is a really nice thing to do. But
Yeah.
also one of the things also that we have to be careful with is to only put identities on the important sounds and to
Yeah.
keep things stripped.
Yeah.
Because if you have like 10 sounds,
Yeah.
that means that you have 10 different visuals and
Yeah.
lights, and that becomes really overwhelming
Overwhelming. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
in for the human eye. So that's then the little parts that you discover when you're doing a project like that.
Yeah.
But it's really interesting to do.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
No. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I would really love to collaborate with people doing that.
Yeah.
And also because when I was growing up as well, we still had MTV, which was a music channel, not Jersey
When
Shore.
MTV was still good. Yeah.
Yes, and I remember a lot seeing the David Lynch and the Chris Cunningham video clips he did for artists,
Yeah.
their art. It was not just a typical video clip. No, it has a lot of work in between the music and the images that you saw, and I always had this appeal to that. So I don't know, like one day in the future I would really love to be able to work on that kind of basis. Not like I did this in the past, like I did a track or some tracks for some animations or videos and stuff like that, but that's not the same thing. Like you see images, or they tell you about what it is and you develop. No, that's a cool thing too, but I'm much more
Yeah.
interested in connecting things, in connecting the two mediums, the two forms of expression, and build
Yeah.
something different on that.
Yeah.
I hope I answered your question. I hope we answered your question, Zach.
Yeah.
This is it, basically. This is basically it. Cool. Thank you for the question. Now we
I
have,
see a lot of other interesting questions
yeah, yeah,
there. Yeah.
yeah, from the real Moonstar Love, R- Robin.
Ooh, that's a difficult one.
Yeah,
The one if COVID will change the Berlin scene, and will we see new places emerge? Well,
that's
uh,
hard.
I think it will change the Berlin scene to an extent, but I also think that it will change the scene everywhere to some
Mm-hmm.
extent, because there are some clubs that will go and will have and already have gone, but also don't forget that there are always people who want to attend parties and events, and if there is a high demand in a city somewhere for people to really to visit clubs, then I think they will always stay, and new ones will emerge. even though that a lot of big cities now have, there's a lot of gentrification going, and clubs need to close, whatever. I think there will always be other venues that will pop up now and then, because there is still, people still want to go to an event and enjoy themselves and want to party.
Yeah.
So yeah, in short, I do think that the Berlin scene will change. Uh, I also think it will change to a bit of a bigger extent than would normally go due to COVID. But I don't think it will disappear or anything. No, I don't think that.
No, yeah. Do you also think this is it's on the same thought that you're having? Do you think
Mhm.
do you think that the fact that Berlin said no clubs will be opening until the end of the year will also help in shaping the Berlin scene? Because I think that was a very wise decision by the Berlin government club scene to do that.
Well, I think it will be very difficult for clubs and resident artists and whatever, because in a lot in many times, expenses still need to be paid, rents and all that kind of stuff. And in this scene, usually clubs are not companies that have a huge amount of money in the bank to overcome
To
all that. So that means that there are many other things that need to yeah, be taken care of by the local government.
Yeah.
And I hope that happens.
No, no,
or
yes.
or or that they are able to do other things temporarily for what, for example, Berghain has done now with the Sammlung Boros Museum,
Yeah,
that they collaborated to make Berghain a part of the Boros Museum,
yeah,
which means that they can still allow people in,
yeah,
they can still generate a little bit of revenue,
yeah,
and yeah, that helps as well, of course.
yeah. No, I agree. Like,
But it's a difficult thing to say,
no, no, it is. I'm a little bit sad worldwide that many governments didn't saw the importance of culture, club culture, music culture, and understand that it's not a company like you said. It is not like Samsung or Apple. They don't have products to keep on selling and putting on the worldwide market. It's not a global company.
True.
It's local businesses in a way. They can have a world name, like they can be renowned worldwide, like Berghain, Trezor, wherever, but it's still a local business in a way. um
Yeah, true. Because I mean, Berghain and Tresor can sell their T-shirts and hoodies and whatnot, but it doesn't cover.
all the expenses, yeah, yeah,
No,
yeah,
exactly.
yeah. So I was a little bit sad seeing that not many countries really gave an importance to culture. But I also think, like you, I also think that we'll see many changes going forward. And like I said, not even on Berlin. I think every city on the world where there is club culture, it will change. It will see things in different ways. Either
Mm.
either either a new iteration of this, a new evolution of this, or maybe just go back to the roots of the thing and start over. I honestly don't know what will happen, and I think nobody will know what will happen. But of course, I think everything will change. Not even on Berlin. I think Berlin, Amsterdam, Porto here.
Yeah, and everything will change for sure.
Uh,
Yeah.
uh, that's one thing. The only thing that I know, well, I know, not just maybe, but I think that when we are free, in a way, that I have this idea, image in my head. It's like that it will be like a worldwide party, like those apocalyptic movies ending scene where they succumb the meteor coming to Earth or anything, and in the end they're all doing a party like worldwide. I can imagine something like that happening, but still, I honestly am curious to see what will happen and what changes will come, and I hope good changes for the future. I really hope so.
We'll
Um,
see. Yeah.
yeah. Let's see. So let's Philip. I see. By the way, oh hi Kyle. How are you, man? Thanks for joining, Kyle Geiger.
Yes, Kyle. Hey, Kyle.
Hey,
Great to see you,
good
man.
to see you. So
Awesome.
there's here two questions here. Philip, I saw your question, but IWC has a much faster one, and yours requires a little bit more of development. So IWC asks, what is your favorite piece of music you ever released? My answer is very fast. I don't have a favorite one. I
I
almost
also don't have a favorite one.
I
No.
almost instantly after 2 months I hate everything that I did, and I cannot find a favorite one that I did. I honestly can't. I hope I.
I have several things that I'm, you know, maybe extra proud of or whatever, but
Yes, but
I don't know.
favorite no.
There are many things that I'm really proud of for different reasons. You know, be it solo music or collaborative music or yeah.
No, that's like yes, John. I totally see it. John, he's one of our dear members in the community. Um, I like. I think it's just like Robin said. We can be proud of some work we did, but have like, oh, this is my no. I think it's quite impossible as well as having one favorite track from all the work you did. Some you can be prouder, some less, uh, but it's I think it's the full journey that is the value, the favorite one. I will answer this to you, John. The journey, the full musical journey for me, it's my favorite one.
Yeah, yeah.
Sorry for the shit for my shit answer, but I don't have.
Now there's a shit answer for me. You know what was a real challenge for me?
What?
Your remix.
My remix?
Yes, because you had this really distorted sound in it that I wanted to make like sound not so distorted, like that it fit really good in the mix. And it was a real challenge for me to fit that like really distorted sound in the mix. And if I shit like this is a beautiful sound, but it's really distorted. then that was a bit, but you released it in the end, so I think yeah, in the end it turned out really well. And you said like, yeah, those were jams, thank you very much, okay, cool. But that so yeah, sometimes there's a part of music that can be challenging.
I'm extra laughing about this because that's
It was funny though. Well, we've already discussed this before,
yes, yes,
so
yes.
yeah.
I know, but I see a theme here. Um, on the first on the second challenge, or the first challenge that I did with the community, as you know, I had the exact same feedback saying, "Look, we and I'm quite surprised that nobody from the community who did the challenges just said I agree with you, Robin." But I admit I have a tendency
No, but I'm
to do
only
things.
also say this a bit in a jokingly way, because I
I know.
know you pretty much use the boom and the heat on,
Yeah, all the time.
you know,
Yeah.
and maybe sometimes even change into each other, like
Yes, yes. But I not.
everything full, all the LEDs full red, and no, but okay.
No, but honestly, like maybe this is a tip, like people saying, look, we like what you do, we value what you do, but can you please send the dry version of those sounds so that we can do something with them? I'll take that. I'll take that
And and then you're replying to them, what drive version?
Yeah, but that was the thing that
Because
happened.
you record in chains, so the
Yes.
recording is already treated like it is. Yeah, I know. I know exactly what you mean.
But that
So
was
then
my
you reply
answer.
like, "What drive
Why
version?"
dry version? I was like, what dry version, dude?
Yeah,
Of
yeah,
this, I said, but this is the sound, man.
yeah.
This I cannot go back. I recorded it once, and I don't know what the fuck I did on that sound because big part of my music, it is not recorded on the machines. I cannot save like a VST. I cannot save them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah.
And and and
You don't have recall. Yeah.
I don't recall. And I have this even on look even on fucking VSTs, Robin. Even on VSTs, I don't save presets or anything. I just save the project, and I leave it there. I have this mindset, maybe because of
Yeah.
Eurorack or whatever that thing was. I don't record things. I've this might sound stupid. I value this. I value that sound on that moment, and that sound had a meaning on that moment. So it will be kept on that moment. I will organize it for that moment, and thank you. You serve the
Yeah.
purpose.
Yeah.
Now let's go.
Re-
Let's go for another
re-
one.
record it, done, and on to the next one.
Next
Yeah.
one. I have that memory from that sound. Oh, I like that sound a lot. And
Yeah.
unconsciously, many times you kind of get to that same sound again without doing on purpose. It's like, oh wait, oh okay, so this sound is like the other one. So I came here again. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah.
thing. So yeah. So John, I hope we answered the best we could to this one.
I saw a question from Philip.
Yes,
Philip
that's that
LP.
one. Yeah, that's the big one. Yeah.
How do you approach a live set? Well, that's it. Do you plan it strictly, or do you get a starting point and go from there?
Yeah.
Well, for example, the live set that was broadcasted tonight, that
Mm-hmm.
was like 100% live improvisation, and that's uh, how I usually approach a live set or a hybrid set, for that matter, for a gig. Uh, I prepare in a certain way that I know really well what I have with me,
Mm-hmm.
like a certain sound palette in my synths and drum machines, and a whole array of loops and other segments in Ableton if I do a hybrid set,
Mm-hmm.
and that I know that work and represent what I want to do. But on the night itself, while knowing the sound palette that I have, I don't prepare anything
Yeah.
because I don't know how the night will go somewhere. I might have prepared stuff, but if the person before me plays way different than I expected, that often that often is the case, then you will need to adjust anyway, you know. And for example, that's what I had. For example, let's see, not last year, but the year before that, I was invited to play at Amsterdam Dance Event, uh, and it was a party that was organized by Jochem, and then I heard the day before, like, yeah, could you do the closing set on the night part of the event? Okay, well, of course, sure. So then I prepared music for the closing set. That was a hybrid set. But I still made sure that I was very flexible in what I was able to do, because I played after Jochem. And then on the night itself, I arrived there, and then I think Jochem had some dinner somewhere because he also had a daytime event there. And then he came there, and so I sort of prepared for my closing set. And then the first thing that he said, like, hey, before your set, shall we do another back to back again, that you take over after a while? Which is then, of course, very different than when he would finish and I would start on my own. Now it was like, okay, he's doing his set. I build up my stuff. After he's almost finished, we play back to back for like half an hour or 1 hour or whatever, and then I take over. So that's very different than if I would start on my own. So that's one of the examples that that things will never turn out how you expect it.
Yeah.
So going back to the question, what I do is I never plan anything, but I do make. But my preparation is that I make sure that I have a sound palette that is really representable of what I want to tell in a set, and a sound palette that is really workable for me, that I can really work with really efficiently. And then with that in mind, and in the machines and in Ableton, then I go to the gig, and then there I will decide things on the fly. So it's not prepared in any way when I'm at the gig. Yeah,
Yeah.
that is basically the answer to the question. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I, th- I, my approach is also quite the same. The thing that I value the most, it's having a sound palette and instruments that I am comfortable with, that I am able to shift immediately to one place to another. Like so that I can be flexible as well. That's one of
Yeah.
the things. Because honestly, maybe because of many years of DJ experience, a big part of playing live as well, it's to also communicate with the dance floor, communicate with the people there, and you have to be flexible enough to change things. And I at least for me, of course, people are every people is different on the way they approach this, but I also don't like to prepare anything because I don't know how things will turn on. I don't know if the guys on the venue, the clubbers, for example, will be hyper hyped because the DJ before was playing
Yeah,
super hard.
exactly. All those factors is
Exactly.
you don't know how it is, or maybe there's an opening DJ before me who is really enthusiastic
Yeah.
and plays way harder than I anticipated,
Yeah.
or maybe not hard enough,
Yeah.
or whatever,
Yeah. Yeah.
And in the end, I will do my own thing anyway.
No, of
I
course,
will
no,
make sure that I
of
do my
course.
own. But for example, the start will be then, yeah,
Yeah, no, it is.
can be different. Yeah,
I think the only preparation that, and I don't even want to, well, let's call it preparation, but at the same time I think it's also practice, experience, and when I say experience, it's not experience of playing live on clubs, it's experience of your machines. I think that's
Mhm.
that's the only thing that I prepare beforehand. It's like, okay, what palette of sounds do I want?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
And
I
and
understand.
and overall it's saying, okay, the thing that I want the most is being on stage and not have to think about 100 different stuff on my head when I should be having fun as well. So I should take things and do things in a way that I am comfortable with. So my approach normally is, okay, I'll take things, for example, uh, um, your case today. Let's say if it was a very big a venue that you had to play, maybe I wouldn't take the digiton with me, for example. For
Yeah,
example, because I knew that I will have the pressure on me. I will be trying to do my best on those things, and having that element there will make my head go about it all the time instead of focusing on having fun and let the sound talk by itself. So the only
yeah,
preparation that I will do is, okay, what sound palette do I have, and practice, 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 practice. Get to know what you have, get to know the tools. Like, it's the same thing for us, same thing for a construction worker. If you give a Black and Decker to a
yeah,
construction worker who doesn't know how to use it, he will do
yeah,
shitty holes on the wall. If you give it
yeah,
to a guy who did 1,000 holes on walls and know how to do the holes, he will be a
yeah.
very good one. So I think it's
Mhm.
it's 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 joining those two things. I think that is the goal. Like, okay, have a little bit of preparation beforehand, which is knowing your gear, knowing your palette, and then just totally go as things naturally flow. That,
Yeah,
that's the
exactly.
way. That's the way. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool question, Philip. And I know why you asked this, because Philip is also playing live experimentations with these Novation circuits,
Okay, cool.
that small
Cool, cool,
machine.
cool.
So he's just doing music on that piece of gear, which is super cool, and he's, yeah, circuit master. So you already do this,
Yeah.
Philip. You already do this. You focus on one thing and you try to learn the best you can about that.
Cool.
Cool. So, we have a question from Kyle.
I
Um,
saw it. Yeah. What's the less you're seeing in the background? Well, let me show you, Kyle. Does it work? Does that work?
it
Let's see.
works. It
Be
works.
careful.
Oh yeah, it's the Voyager. Yeah, it's the
It's my
Voyager.
Moog, yeah, my
First
Moog Voyager.
first edition Voyager. Yeah.
But
It.
the thing is also that it's mine has a customized filter, and the reason why is that the
Yeah.
place I bought it from. Someone else bought it there as well, and he brought it back and said like, okay, it doesn't sound like the Mini Moog
Yeah.
from the 70s. And then they investigated it, and the place where I bought it from also repairs vintage synths and all. So then they discovered that there is something wrong with the filter in all modern Moogs,
Yeah. Yes.
which makes it sound a lot less fat and warm than the vintage Moogs. And then I had a little something that needed to be repaired on it. And then the company said like, okay, we can update the filter as well for you, so that your Moog sounds like the old original vintage Moog sound. And I said, yeah, of course, you know. So mine has a customized or even sort of corrected filter in it, so that mine doesn't sound like every other modern Moog that you buy now, which have the flimsy
Yeah.
filter.
Yeah.
Mine sounds like, you know, the old one from the 70s,
Yeah. Yeah. You know.
which also uh, can be sometimes an issue, because it's a lot more raw than
Yeah.
all modern Moogs, you know.
Fills
So
the
you
room.
have, yeah, but
Yeah.
okay, you know, that's yeah,
Yeah. I had a Sub 37 when it come out,
yeah,
and I ended up selling it because of two reasons. First, the filter, and the sound of
yeah,
it was not what I expected at all.
yeah.
I was hoping for that subby old school Moog, and then of course interface, but that's just personal taste. But yeah, it is quite fascinating how this information is not widespread, because at this time
Because then they would need to do at the time, then they would need to do
a
a
recall,
recall.
yeah,
And for a company like Moog, they cannot afford it, you know,
yeah,
because it was the Moog Voyager, the little fatty, the slim fatty,
the sub fatty,
and then, you know, yeah. So but
yeah,
okay, in the end, you know, also modern Moogs, I think, are still great instruments.
oh they
You
are,
can do a lot of great stuff with it, you
yeah,
know.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
DFAM family on the chat.
So there you go.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. So cool stuff. By the way, we jumped we jumped the question
You mean from Pablo? Yeah,
from
yeah, yeah.
Pablo. Yeah, it's for you.
Yeah, a place where I would still play, like to play live. Yeah, you know, there are some cliche clubs that people would like to play. For me, amazing club in Berlin that many people know that I'd like to play a set. There's a club in Tbilisi, where I
Yeah,
would like to play a set. But there is also, for example, this festival in Japan. It's called Labyrinth.
Labyrinth. Yeah,
I also really, I'm impressed with that. There's a similar festival like that in Taiwan, also
mm-hmm.
in the middle of nature, you know. So there are uh, some famous places like that where I, of course, would love to play. But that said, there are also, I think, many places that are not so famous that are also really cool to play at, you know. So I have this sort of wish list that, you know, place I would like to play. But in the end, you know, yeah, what I've I've had many places in the past, you know, that are not famous at all, that turned out amazing nights, you know. So yeah,
Yeah. Well, let's try and get a gig in Labyrinth, because I also have that cliche in my head for many years. I will
mm,
love to play Labyrinth. The vibe, the thing, plus the crowd as well. Looks
Yeah.
amazing, man. Looks like it is like it's 100% for the music in
They
the
they
space,
they
man.
moved to another location now. By the way, what I know, so
Yeah,
it's not the old location
no, it's not
anymore.
the old one.
But
Yeah,
okay. But anyway,
but
it's
anyway, it's the same concept.
yeah,
And I think what is good about Labyrinth, it's the concept.
yeah,
Nature, music, and that's it.
yeah.
Basically.
And one other concept that I also like for me personally, free ramen.
Pre ramen.
No, but
You know something? I'm quite amazed by the fact that not a single soul
yeah.
asked about ramen in this chat.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine. Oh, okay.
I,
Well,
no,
now Bompelli says, "Lol, here we go." So
look,
no, but
I have a question for you.
I
Like,
I don't know if there's a lot to say about it.
no,
It's uh, it's basically, for my whole life I always love great food.
yeah,
I love great Asian food. And a couple of years ago, a Japanese friend of mine here who lives in, well, he partially lives in Amsterdam. He also partially lives in Japan and in Mexico. But he decided to start a ramen restaurant in the Netherlands. I mean, he has several different companies, but he started to decided to start a ramen restaurant in collaboration with some famous ramen chef from Japan who has some very famous ramen restaurants there. And so he started a ramen restaurant here in Amsterdam with, only Japanese people, ramen made, exactly the authentic Japanese
yeah,
way how it should be done. No compromises, nothing. And that sort of ignited my passion for food like that.
yeah.
And it has become a bit of a joke on Discord. That I even temporarily changed my name to Ramen Kampschoer, for people. But yeah, it's
Yeah,
basically good authentic ramen is basically one of the many good foods that I like and appreciate. And I see J.S. Park, which is Tiny, which is my
that,
friend
yeah.
from Berlin. She also knows my passion for ramen and labyrinth and all that kind of stuff. And that's funny because when I'm in Berlin, she always takes me to the best ramen places in Berlin. So she is like my ramen guide in Berlin.
You know,
So there you go.
i- have you ever been to Dusseldorf?
Yes, but it's a long time ago. Yeah,
I had the best ramen in my life in the Japanese neighborhood, in this very little ramen restaurant. I had to wait 1 hour and something to get a table, man. It was so delicious,
yeah,
like fully Japanese, no compromises as well. I don't know. There's something about it that appeals to me as well. And by the way, remember how all the times you're asking me where's your ramen? So
yeah.
I brought something to you to rate it from 0 to 10. So first, here's your ramen.
that, that is instant ramen.
Here's your
That
ramen
is
for you.
that has nothing to do with instant ramen.
I
I
know.
give it a I give it 100%.
Zero.
I will even type it in the comments. I will even type it in the comments for everyone to see. So there you go. Yeah,
Man, but I had to do this because every time you join the stream, you're like, "Where's my ramen?" So here's your
yeah.
ramen.
Well, there you go. I am very. I just shed a tear of joy here.
And Black Hand Clan as usual. Isn't that styrofoam? Yeah, that's styrofoam ramen basically.
Yeah,
Oh my god, no.
there you go.
But there you
Yeah,
go. Here, I remember you, and I brought you instant ramen, which is honestly bleh. Still, there are some ways on making it more or less edible. more or less. But even so, it's a crap. Honestly, it's a
Ed-
total crap.
edible styrofoam.
Yeah, edible
Yeah,
styrofoam,
exactly. Yeah,
or just
yeah,
it was you, Black Hand Clan, who said that ramen was pasta with water. I think so. Oh, Cedric.
yeah. Yeah. Well, the reason why Cedric is asking the question is how much sake is required to eat the instant noodles. Oh, that. Oh, none. You have better, warm up the sake, put the instant noodles in it, stir it really well, and then throw it away.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I had a ramen dinner once with Cedric in one of the restaurants for my Japanese friends, and we got a sake pairing with it. And I also like sake. I'm not a sake snob. Like I want to have this 150 euro special bottle, whatever. No, but I like sake as well. And so we got a few starters, and after that the ramen. But I think we had two or three starters, and then the main dish, and then a dessert. But we got a sake pairing with every dish. So at the ramen we had our fourth sake, which was a different sake again. And then I think me as well as Cedric both had we were looking at each other the food is great, it's awesome food, but the sake is really kicking in now. And it was just a weekday. I still had to drive home and stuff like that. And uh, then we had this dessert, like this green tea ice and all kinds of fancy stuff. And then the waiter came from yeah, and here's your fifth and final sake pairing. And then I think both me and Cedric said no, thank you.
Yeah.
It's been great, but no, it's okay. That's what. So that was a lesson learned. Great, great to eat there, but let's not do a sake pairing anymore with every dish. And if I think I have the same as well. If I go to a restaurant with many courses, a wine pairing with every course. That's it sounds great, but in the end,
No,
it's dangerous.
no. Honestly, I do love wine, but I honestly don't mix it. I prefer to drink the same bottle, the same
Yeah,
wine until the end.
I have the same, and it's the same for sake as well. I stick to one usually, and then it's okay,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
only a few glasses. Not yeah,
Yeah, no, I
yeah.
do the same. Like with I don't drink much alcohol nowadays. Or better, after the first lockdown, that I drank like a proper drunken master, basically. I started not drinking alcohol at all, and but for many years, many years, I just like drink the same drink all over night, or day, whatever, and not do mixes at all, because the recipe, it's explosive on the day, and the next day, oh god, the next day, no thank you.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah,
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 people
exactly.
people talking about, oh yeah,
Talking about, let's see, at ramen.
ramen,
Tiny
ram,
has just drunk a bottle of Hibiki whiskey,
hibiki. Yeah, no,
and Cedric has one open too. So awesome,
awesome.
awesome, awesome. Yeah,
Yeah, well, I
but yeah, I enjoy good food in
good
general.
food. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I think that's important.
No,
To enjoy good food,
good
to
food
never compromise on food.
on food.
Doesn't have to be expensive. Can be just simple,
No, of course,
but
that's it. That's it.
yeah,
That doesn't need to be fancy food. Like most of the fancy food, you ask for fancy food, you get like a potato like this size, and
on
this
a
size
big
of
plate.
on
Yeah,
a plate this size. No, the
yeah,
the thing is, it has to be honest, well cooked, good quality food. Well, nowadays I'm vegan, Okay, I'm sorry for being vegan for the people who are gonna.
No worries.
I'm saying this on a joking way because Bombi Ali is gonna say that, yeah, go eat your grass, but it's fine. No, but whatever is your diet style. The most important thing for me is have good quality, well cooked food. Doesn't need to
Yeah,
be expensive. That's not like in Portugal. Nobody's perfect. Yeah, that's true. Nobody's perfect. Um, in Portugal, many of the good restaurants are the small, uh, mom and papa restaurants, which you pay €9 for the full course, and you say, "Whoa, this is amazing food. This is really good food." So in the
yeah,
end, it's about good quality food and local food and whatever, well crafted food,
yeah,
made with love and passion. Hmm?
yeah.
That's the way. Food made with love and passion.
Like order an omelette made with love and passion.
Love
Yeah,
and
yeah.
passion, yeah.
No, but I know what you mean. But in the end, that's true. You know what I a few days ago I sent you that Instagram account from Samuli Kempi.
Yeah,
You
from
know,
Samuel, the
he has
bread.
this bread account where he
Yeah,
makes these amazing breads. You know,
yeah,
it's just bread, but it's amazing.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And that's what I like.
By the way,
Yeah,
I love bread. I love bread.
good bread is great.
Good
Yeah.
bread is great. Although the Portuguese bread used to be better many years ago, I don't know if it's because of prices of flour or anything. Nowadays, it's not as good. But I'm sorry, not because I had a French education for many years, but the best bread I ever had in my life, it's the French bread.
Okay. Yeah.
Nobody beats good French bread, especially the north one, especially the north.
And
Also
my family lives in
in
Bretagne,
Bretagne,
so
yeah,
you have great bread there. Yeah.
great bread from Bretagne. But yeah, guys, we are near the 2 hours.
Wow.
I
Okay.
encourage you to do your last questions. Okay.
Yeah. Any questions? Hit me up.
Yeah.
And Tiny is detox. She's right. I know. I
Okay.
remember that. Yeah.
A good detox is
Me,
always
me
good.
too. By the way, I'm also how do you say that?
Oh yeah, I haven't. Well,
Living pretty healthy at the moment.
me too. Although I had on Friday. Yeah, on Friday I had my sip of whiskey that I have to thank personally now. That Cedric sent me a very nice bottle from Nika from the Barrel, which is
Okay.
one of my favorite, if not one of my, for me, the best one. But I am also like, I'm not drinking at all. I'm not finding any pleasure on drinking at this moment.
He sent you a bottle of whiskey.
Yeah, a bottle of Nika from the Barrel.
Oh, but Cedric, I told you to send him this one little can of whiskey cola in a can together, like
No,
this cheap
no,
whiskey.
cheap whiskey cola. those those small
From a
cans,
can, yeah, yeah,
the
from a
small
can,
cans.
from a
Oh,
can,
that's, oh man,
it's
that's so
cheap whiskey with cheap cola. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
that's so
For one
shitty, man.
euro. Yeah, I know.
That's so shitty. I actually think I think I maybe I'm mistaken, but I think it was in Amsterdam when I played there for the sorry, I'm gonna murder Dutch language. Hugort.
Ruigoord, you played at Ruigoord. Yeah.
Yeah, the hippie, the
How did
hippie.
you? How did you? Yeah, but because it's a former squatting place.
Yes, that's that
Yeah.
exactly with the church.
How did you like it?
I loved it.
Okay.
I, lo-
Okay. Cool.
I
Yeah.
loved it. I played there once on the church, on the door nights they used to do there, and then they invited me to the Mani festival that they used to do on summer, and
Yeah.
I think my wife, well, at the time my girlfriend, but my wife and some friends of ours, a Portuguese friend and some Dutch friends I know from ages and ages and ages,
Mm.
due to soul sick. Imagine I met Dutch friends who I had a lot of times being with them in Portugal and there via Soulseek, old school things from the internet, and I said, well, I want a whiskey cola, and what they gave me, I thought like, okay, I'll have a glass with whiskey and cola. They gave me a can,
And a lemon in it. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it's like, uh, I was sorry, but this is a can of Coca-Cola. I said, no, this is JD Cola. I said, but this is not normal. I said, but this is what we are selling as whiskey cola. I said, okay. I opened it
Yeah.
and I was like, what is this? This is not.
Yeah,
This is not. This is nothing. This is super.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not whiskey cola. It's a whiskey cola product.
Yeah,
You know,
and Jack
yeah,
Daniels, it's bourbon. It's not even whiskey, it's bourbon.
yeah.
That's the thing. So yeah, for the whiskey snobs, yeah. But yeah, I was like, no, I don't want this anymore. But but
Funny.
but nowadays I will never be able to drink whiskey cola because I drank so much whiskey cola in my life that I will not be um I don't know. It just the smell of it makes me feeling strange. I don't know.
Yeah,
But yeah, guys, come on. Last questions for Robin.
yeah. Any questions? Let me know.
Come on.
I'd be happy to answer them.
We have this period of delay between chat and us. Oh, by the way, streaming when it's coming. I want you streaming. I want you exploring your machines. Do not.
First one is next week for
Oh, it's
Architect.
true,
You know,
Architect.
the asset. He asked me like,
Yeah.
I don't know if he asked me like, do if I could do asset set or whatever, and I said, well, I have a TB303 here, you know, so yeah, of course.
Oh shit! Wait, it is supposed to be 303 inspired.
I think so
Oh,
because it's an asset
oh, fuck.
edition, whatever.
Fuck. Okay.
I can send you loops if you want.
No, I think I can do acid around here, but I
Okay.
I I I
Yeah, like the music, eh? Not
I know,
not the little paper. Okay.
not the paper, not the paper. I haven't done those on ages. Okay, I'll try to do my based on acid. But I
Let me
didn't.
know, and otherwise I'll help you out with stuff here. I can send you stuff. No worries. Yeah,
It is not because I don't know how to do it. It's just because that it is not a style of thing that I really well the way that you do it, Robin. I appreciate it a lot because it doesn't sound like okay, usual acid music. But that's a good challenge. Fuck,
yeah.
I'm glad that you said that because
Now you have a challenge as well.
I have a
Yeah.
challenge. I'll have to do acidic music.
Maybe start a new label. 1,000 challenges.
I thought- well, no, I think it's called Collective Details actually.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
But I don't
There
participate
you
on
go.
it. That's the thing. No, but
Yeah.
just get the loops and share with us. Okay, I'll have a chance for myself. But cool. But anyways, apart from Synthfest, which guys, please check Synthfest. There you go. Architect's working. Check
Yeah.
Synthfest and Architect. I'm gonna saying something very stupid, and you can scold me afterwards. If you have interest and if you like to play live, okay, with a computer, with machines, with controllers, okay, with
Mhm.
instruments, please check Golden Shrimp Discord. Check synthfest.online as well because it is a super cool concept where
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
it's all over the world. Okay, so it starts. Let's say it starts with Architect in Rotterdam playing his stuff, and then everybody raids another artist, and we keep on doing this for 2 or 3 days without stopping. And you're welcome to do your thing. It's a super cool community, a community of people who really love seeing and hearing other people playing. They don't judge. They don't judge at all. They just want to have fun, see what you do, get inspired. So if you are into live music, live performance, improvisation, check that. But
Yeah.
apart from that, and I'm still waiting on questions. If there are no questions, we'll wrap it up. I'm warning you guys. But apart from Synthfest, all genres, yeah, all genres. Apart from Synthfest, when are you starting to stream? Because there is a plan going. We are gonna boost you in followers, man. We are gonna boost you in followers.
I
By the way, Philip, share Robin's Twitch.
I need to make some final arrangements here so that what I'm streaming that it's also how do you say that it is also visually a bit
Appealing.
more appealing and
Appealing.
all that kind of stuff.
Okay. No, no, but I
Because Twitch is audiovisual,
Oh,
you know.
is that
So
completely? Yes,
yeah,
yes, yes. No,
yeah.
I totally agree. Although, and this is, I like to discuss these things. I like to see other people to get inspired as well. But
Mm.
it is what I told you many times before. And maybe if Kyle as our expert streamer, has been doing this for quite a while. Also, Philip,
And he's doing great.
and he's
His
doing
streams
great.
are great.
Yes,
Absolutely
Philip,
great. Yeah.
if you can also share Kyle's Twitch, I will be thankful. But honestly, I think what matters the most, Robin, for me, it's you having fun, and a very
Yeah.
good
True.
a very good example of something very well done. It's Bleep Temple. Bleep Temple
Mm.
is super smart. The laser
Yeah.
things super visually appealing. You can interact with the lasers, and the music is great as well. But I agree with you. But in the end, I don't think you need to talk. Just has to be, it just has to be cool. People, I think people do understand by seeing you how much fun you're
Of course.
having,
That is true. Yeah.
and how they connect to that. I believe in that. So yeah, but I'm anxious to see that happening. And let's see.
I'll probably just start in on one day, maybe not even really announced, semi-announced through some social media or whatever, and then I'll just start away, and then yeah, and then let's see. Yeah.
Let, let's see. It's about love. It's
that's
about
but
love.
that's yeah, that's the Sven Fate. You
Sven
have
Veit.
this online thing from Sven Fate with all his quotes.
the
Yeah.
the soundboard
Yeah. Yeah.
from Sven. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I was hoping that I will say it's about love. That Kyle will say something, but I don't know if Kyle is still around or not.
I don't know either.
I don't know. But no, but yeah, I that's the thing. Just go for it.
Yeah.
Just go for it. And have fun, man. Have fun. You know,
Of course.
a
Mm.
big part of and this actually was Sanders fault in a way. What made me do this was basically have fun. They said, look, just have fun, just do your thing and just speak whatever you want to speak, but have fun. And actually,
Yeah.
it is kind of fun. And then you adapt it to your own self. I adapt this to be my own self. Like I do like to talk a
Hmm.
little. I do talk a lot sometimes.
You are a real talker. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a real talker. That's the thing.
Yeah.
I know
Which is
it.
fine, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, can be both sides. Can be a virtue, can be a defect. But it's basically about having fun.
Yeah.
And
But
doing
of
something
course.
that you really like, which is playing your gear, playing your stuff, and also what for me it unlocked a lot of cool things that on my music, cool things happened because of the streams. I was doing stuff here, people were saying stuff, and I was like, oh, okay, this is a good idea. So this interaction, although not physical, still virtual.
Yeah.
But despite being virtual, there still exists like the text. You can relate to the text. Sometimes the text can be ambiguous because it can give you a different meaning of what the person is saying to you. That's a problem with text. But still, it opens quite a lot of nice doors.
Yeah. That's true.
And
Yeah.
it's a cool thing. So yeah, I hope
Yeah.
to see that they come, and I hope you guys all followed. That the 81 persons in this chat went to follow Robin's Twitch, so that when he randomly appears there, you'll know that he's there. And he.
I will announce it. Yeah. Yeah. By the way, last thing. that talk that you and I had here, maybe we need to stream this live with visuals that people can
Yes,
actually see us talking.
yes, I think
Or was this already live? No, this
no,
wasn't. Okay,
no.
okay,
This is edited. This is like
no, okay. I would like to know if people are able to see me now or not. Because
no.
I okay, no, then it's okay.
Look,
Okay,
the
okay, cool.
like you have teleportation from Rotterdam to Lelystad.
Yeah.
I have a machine that predicts what people is going to talk. So next week, if it's okay by you, because I have actually next week I'm not gonna stream next week on Sunday.
Yes, you do, because we have that Synthfest thing going on.
No, it's Saturday, man. It's Saturday. No,
Yeah,
it's
okay,
Friday.
yeah.
No, fuck. Oh my god. It's Friday. It's Friday to Saturday. Okay, architect, we know our dates. Okay, don't worry, don't worry. Okay,
Yeah.
this is just the heat of the moment. It's the heat of the moment. But I will broadcast this talk so people can see it. Just the way you teleported from Rotterdam. I predicted what people were saying.
Yeah, exactly.
Unfortunately, I don't predict yet Euro Millions, but I'll try to find a way how to predict Euro Millions numbers one of these days,
Okay,
and
awesome.
I'll share with everybody.
Oh, yeah.
I'll do that.
Okay.
I'm not a greedy. I'm not a greedy fucker. No, but
Architect says Wednesday till Sunday. Okay, awesome. Yeah, we have the thing already in our mail, so
yeah, on mail, yes.
no worries
Architect,
about that. Yeah.
we are not unorganized people. We are just like super confused. Okay. No, but this was a great talk, Robin. I
Thank
hope.
you for having me,
No,
and
man. No.
thank you to everyone who was watching
Yes.
tonight.
Yes.
Much appreciated. Thank you for all the questions. If you have any other questions, please hit me up on social media somewhere.
Yeah.
I'd be happy to answer or help out or whatever. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. That's it. Oh,
Nadia is streaming. If you can
Nadia
rate
streaming.
Nadia,
Yes,
okay,
of
awesome.
course, of course.
Yeah,
Let's invade Australia, mate.
yeah, yeah. Okay, then. Awesome.
Awesome, guys. Once
Cool.
again, super cool.
Thanks, all of you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
if you're I just have to do this final shout out. I'm sorry, I'm that obnoxious streamer. Okay, if you are on Discord or not, join our Discord. If you wish to support or know more a little bit more about my other skills, you can go Patreon. I also just launched the Patreon to help people who want to develop their skills or just also support my craft. That's it, guys. Boys and girls, everyone, thanks once again. Thank for your support and love to us. Let's raid Nadia, which I think she's doing quite a cool thing. She's experimenting with her push, I think, and Ableton 11 as well.
Yeah.
Guys, see ya. Bye bye. Catch you on social media, Discord. You know where you can find me on my hole called Discord. Bye bye.
Ciao.
Bye bye, guys.
Bye.
Let's raid Nadia. Nadia. Oh my god. Awful English. Nadia. Let's raid Nadia. Bye.